Hey guys, welcome back to the Colcom podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm Kristen.
Okay, today we're going to look at another subject that's discussed at a Colcom near you. What's our subject today?
We are talking about education.
Ooh, okay, that's an important subject in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Important subject to this podcast.
Yeah, well, everyone, Korean families care about their children's education and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Our first question is, what do you think of online education? Do you prefer online or offline education, and why?
I prefer offline education for sure. I experienced this too because I was enrolled in a language school in Korea and we started offline. And because of the pandemic, we had to switch to online education. And as soon as we switched, I felt like my learning stopped. It was harder to focus. I wasn't able to practice or connect with my classmates. I feel like our workload increased dramatically. I learned so much more when I'm in a classroom surrounded by my peers than being forced to like sit in like Zoom lectures, just the video call lectures.
Yeah, I agree. I prefer offline, like brick and mortar classroom environment for me to learn. I learn better when I'm surrounded by people also learning. I can't think how like online education is better than offline education as well. Even during the pandemic, people are like going, do you want to, everyone's doing online education. Do you want to be an online English teacher? I'm like going, no. Even as a teacher, I'm like, I don't know how to educate people that way. Like, I won't be able to even give like the content. And I also thought like the students won't be as engaged online as they would be offline in a real classroom.
Just in the current way our education system works, the lecture style, I think it needs to be more individualized. Like I've done work trainings and I've been able to learn. You're just like clicking through like an interactive game or module. That for like teaching yourself a new concept, I feel like works. But especially for like language education, it's so difficult. Yeah.
No, I need to be if I'm in a learning environment, I need to be in a classroom and be in a locked, basically trapped.
Yeah.
Like you have to be there.
You can't leave.
You can't escape it. You have to take everything in now. Can you read number 2?
Yes. What was your middle/high school experience like? And do you have any specific memories? What were you like in high school?
Okay. So so in Toronto, we have elementary school, and that goes from 1st to 8th grade. And then high school is 9th grade to 12th grade. In high school, some of my high school memories are bad. I was bullied a lot. I was also like a late bloomer, meaning I was like the last person to go through puberty. So yeah, and I was an outcast. I was a loner. I got beat up. I got picked on. Thankfully, in my last year, I was able to fall. Like I fell into like the improv and the comedy group. So I found a group of friends that I actually liked. But the first 3 years was horrible.
Honestly, same. Middle school and high school were rough. Did not have a good time. I was bullied pretty frequently too. I didn't have that many friends, honestly, until I moved to Korea. So fleeing the country works, guys. But in high school, well, I would say one of the most defining experiences of mine in high school was when I joined speech team.
Okay.
I was speech team captain for 3 years. I would practice like giving public presentations, like competitively performing monologues, waking up at like 4 a.m. every Saturday to put on like a full suit, go to a random high school, put on like the pearls and like perform the same speech like 4 or 5 times a day, depending if you get into finals. And yeah. I'm
just picturing you. You look like almost like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton, like trying to force myself to almost cry 4 times a day in a random high school classroom pitted against other students. I did like dramatic monologues and I wrote some plays. So that for me was like a really defining experience of high school. Great. The rest of it, let's not talk about. I don't want to remember that.
Well, this may be similar. Number 3, which subject at school was your favorite? And which was your least favorite?
Ooh, okay. So I had like 2 tracks that I loved. I loved my English classes. I loved writing. I even like doubled up on English classes. Took the most enjoyment out of them. Also my science classes.
Okay.
I even did like science fair for fun recreationally for 11 years. Like I really loved like coming up with new project ideas and experiments and then presenting to people. And then theater too. Math, not so much. Social studies, ooh, rough. Geography, terrible. But science and English were like my two favorites.
Okay.
What about you?
So similar, like English, I actually took more English credits than I should have. So at one point I had to basically do a whole year without English because I took so many at the very start. There's so many specialized English courses, as well as my high school English teachers were cool.
High school English teachers can be like either the coolest, best, most like your favorite teacher ever, or terrible. I feel like there's no in between. Yeah.
My least favorite, actually, the problem is, I hated studying secondary languages.
Oh, same. Spanish.
In Canada, we had to learn French. And I'm French Canadian, and I sucked at French, and I just had to just being there, just sitting in the chair. And then I didn't have any interest in learning French. And now that I wish actually I had done, I actually tried harder in French class. Because now I'm in Korea and it was so hard for me to learn a secondary language because I didn't have those early education secondary language skills developed. Yeah.
And for me, like Midwest, it wasn't like immersion. All of my teachers, Senora Adkins taught me Spanish, and it didn't come naturally to me. And like I have the white girl accent, like me llamo Kristen, like just garbage, honestly terrible. Like, although with the amount of time I've spent trying to learn Korean, I feel like I would have been fluent in Spanish at this point.
Number 4, do you want to read that one?
What did you major in? Why did you choose the major you did?
Okay, so because I took so many English credits, I majored in creative writing. And that's also something I don't do I hardly do. I just have all these ideas but I never put anything to paper anymore. And why did I choose it? It's just when I graduate, because I just chose courses that I liked in high school. And when I graduated, I didn't have many choices afterwards because in Canada, when you apply to the university based on the courses that you took in high school, it's not like the SATs or the 수능시험. You don't submit your test scores. You submit your academic record. How about yourself?
So I graduated with a degree in marketing from a business school, which I do use. My current job is at a PR agency, and I've done a lot of marketing positions. But I studied it because my parents were like, you're not studying English or theater. You study business or STEM, or you're disowned. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, shit.
So I chose the most creative field I could within those confines, got my degree, and ended up working out because you can really do marketing anywhere. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's life. I'm sure you can relate to, you must be a doctor, a lawyer, an investment banker, a software engineer. Yeah, you make it work. You can do whatever you want with your life. A degree, it can help you especially if you're getting a job in another country and like for visa requirements, you need it. But if you're being forced to study and then you just want to do something else with your life, do it. It's your life.
Number 5. If you had the opportunity to learn something right now, what would it be and why?
I always daydream about having a chip installed in my brain that just automatically makes me speak every single language.
Okay, so language, you would like to learn a language.
Yes, but I can't learn languages. So I just want it to be done.
I would like that chip language. I want to learn languages, but something that a skill that I don't have that I would like to learn is music.
Oh, what would you want to play?
Guitar.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, it's just, I think actually, music. My parents didn't really care about like the fine arts music, but I want my nephews to learn how to play guitar and my niece to learn the piano too. So I don't know how to read music, and I think it's actually a very important thing that can help people socialize with each other.
Yeah, well, it's never too late to learn. I feel like you could still pick it up.
With these stubby fingers, it's too late.
You never know that.
Okay. Do you want to read number 6?
Yes. Who was your favorite teacher of all time? Describe him/her to the group.
Great. So we talked a little bit. My favorite teacher I can remember is my grade 9 English teacher, Mr. Griffin. So one thing, like, yeah, he was a cool guy, very laid back. But one thing he said, if you write an essay or short story, if you can make me laugh, I'll give you bonus marks. So always that, like, I always try to like slide in one joke or something funny in everything I wrote for it, because he encouraged that creative element. And yourself?
I have had so many honestly incredible teachers over the years, and I'm so grateful, and I feel bad I can't name every single one, but like some of my high school English teachers were the best. There was a guy named Mr. Kenley who was taught creative writing, super eccentric, great, like really supportive of his students. Mrs. Morganston, who was like such like a wonderful maternal presence. She made me really excited about learning about satire and parody. And then when I was in university, I was a teaching assistant for a marketing class taught by a professor, Jennifer Riley Simone, who recently was made a permanent full-time professor. That's how great she is. And she really helped guide and shape my career. And like, we're still in contact. Yeah.
Also, maybe I should, I want to that Mr. Griffin was great. I did have kind of a clown teacher at one point. Like
a clown teacher?
Yeah. So like he was a mime, but like he did kind of like like clown and situational and all that stuff.
Did you go to clown school?
I took clown. Yeah, I went to clown.
What?
So this guy was but like going basically, it's just like it was like an improv kind of course and all that stuff. But he told me one thing that really helps me now as an entertainer is like when I was doing like some improv scenes, like just nonverbal, he said, "You're holding back. You're not in touch with your emotions. Show your real emotions." And like now, like when I'm acting, I don't hold back. I just live in the moment and all those emotions. So that teacher was Rob Trick.
Oh, the best thing I've ever been taught in one of my theater classes is that like the relationship between stupidity and genius is not a line, it's a circle, and they're right next to each other.
Right, yeah. Which number are we on? We're number 7.
Number 7.
What is the difference between a good student and a bad student?
What do you think?
Okay, so I have lived in Korea for now 15 years, and I did spend 10 years, my first 10 years, as an English teacher. A good student is someone that wants to be there. A bad student is someone that that's forced to be there. So in English Hagwons, I like the good students that wanted to be there to learn. They were very polite. They had conversations. They really wanted to absorb the material. The bad students, the ones that were forced to be there, their parents were just putting them there almost like a daycare. And they weren't respectful, and they were and they're not listening, and they kind of made the environment toxic for the other students.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. I think it all comes down to just a willingness to learn. Like it doesn't matter if you're good or bad or something. Everyone is bad when they first start out for the most part. And you should be willing to try and fail in order to succeed. So I'll never judge someone who's not good at something, but they love it and they're genuinely trying. But I will judge you if you're being disruptive, you don't want to be there, you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to try.
Okay, number 8. What improvements does the school system need then?
This would help more if I was a teacher.
Well, one thing that I would say is the classrooms are getting bigger and bigger, so the teachers are not as able to like interact with students individually as much as they used to be. I think we need smaller classrooms, less students, so the teachers can actually help the students and more. Because if you have like in Korea, like they have like I think 32 kids in one classroom, and that's too many students for one teacher to like educate at one time.
There's also such a focus on like grades. Because for me, I was someone who was very academically driven. I think in my class of 600 students, at the end, I was ranked like 13th. And it really all came down to just like weighted classes, like how many AP classes can you cram into your schedule? And there's so many classes I would have loved to take, like Intro to Photography, for example, but I didn't because I knew if I took that class, something I was genuinely interested in learning about, as opposed to like a weighted AP class, my ranking would move down.
Yeah.
So I would love that if the school could shift away from focusing on like test scores and these ridiculous weighted distributions, because all of us had above a 4.0 GPA. Like we maxed out the system.
Yeah.
None of us had.
You just padded your grades for college to enter into college. Or
exactly. Something. And now in my life, I don't remember much from that AP biomedical class, but I would love to know how to properly shoot on the camera.
Okay, great. Can you read number 9?
Number 9, who chose the college you attended, you or your parents?
My parents are very open-minded, so they didn't even care if I went to college or not. I chose to go to college. I actually took a year off, and then I decided I wanted to go to college. But there is no pressure academically put on me by my parents.
I would say, yeah. My parents definitely chose for me. I don't want to slam them too hard because I know they were just concerned about my future and they wanted their idea what was best for me. I mean, I only applied to one school. I feel like I could have, because I knew I was going to get in because I had perfect grades and so many extracurricular activities. But I feel like I went in-state because tuition in the U.S., it costs more money for you to go to college in a different state. I got a half ride to my university, but I feel like if I had applied more places and take advantage of more scholarship opportunities, I probably could have gotten a full ride in a different state. But you know, I ended up here. I'm very happy where I am in life. So it did all work out.
Great. And our final question, what is your attitude towards cheating? How should parents and teachers react?
Well, especially now with ChatGPT, everyone's doing it, right?
Yeah. I don't like cheating. I don't like it in like the education. I don't even like cheating on board games. I find that people that cheat, like they're not honest. I wish we could just ship them off to an island and the honest people can leave. How parents and teachers should react? Well, I think actually it's the parents' responsibility to monitor and punish children that do cheat. I think the parents should actually encourage the students morally to be better and not just to cheat.
I think the students that do cheat are missing out because at the end of the day, like the thing that matters is not that like mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is what is your studying process? What is your internal motivation? It's learning the process of learning as opposed to like memorizing facts.
Yeah.
So by cheating, you are missing out on practicing how to continuously self-improve. And then you'll get to a point in life where you have to learn something new and you won't be able to because you're not used to it.
Yeah. I always try to take the moral high ground, like don't do it. Don't be honest with someone. But teachers should, if they catch a student cheating, they should just notify the parents. And the parents should, punish them or whatever.
It was so bad in my university
really?
that they had like cameras monitoring tests to like zoom in because apparently business students are just like, can do whatever. So don't cheat. Okay. Don't do it.
Well, that concludes the topic of education. I've been Jeff.
I've been Kristen.
And if you have further questions about Colcom, you can visit them on their website at colcom.co.kr.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.